Welcome back, Captains and Admirals, to another video with a funny muffler. And today we're going to do a reaction video to Hives, Hives Uncle Barney. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch the video together. It'll be my first reaction to it, and Hives talked this up to me, and he wanted me to do a reaction to it. So I'm quite excited. But yeah, we'll see what Uncle Barney's got to say now. So let's go.
Unfortunately, the hive hound is feeling a little under the weather today, plagued by yet another common cold. So I, his Uncle Barnaby, shall not only read aloud his provided script for his petulant gaming channel, but I will do my utmost to add some style and class that is so desperately needed in this not-so-young man's videos.
I dread to think what the script's
So
going to
today
be.
we shall venture forth, sailing the high seas, free from the shackles of mortality, to live in infamy, chattel to no one, becoming masters of all we survey, at least on his 32-inch gaming monitor. Martha, how did I get roped into this? I trained in the classic arts at King's College, and now I have to not only read, but attempt to decipher this idiot's handwritten nonsense. It would be one thing if he could spell correctly, or even write in cursive. The things we do for our loved ones, meaning I would hate to upset Papa. Firstly, let's start this video correctly, with some history. Her Majesty's ship Plymouth is based on the Town-class light cruiser, sticking to the terms of the London Naval Treaty, limiting the ship to 10,000 tons and keeping the gun caliber within the predetermined 155mm limit.
Informative.
The Town-class was Britain's answer to the American Brooklyn-class and the Japanese Mogami-class cruisers. And that's about it, really. The ship never actually existed. Just some far-fetched fantasy, repeatedly played by my belligerent nephew, trying to impress the ladies with his win rate.
That sounds like Hive.
Martha, I'm going to need some more brandy to get through this. Right, so to the actual game. Here we are on Haven playing a match of domination. In a 9 versus 9 matchup of digital boats, in a digital world. The Hivehound, apparently paying attention to the map, doing as any good cruiser player would do, which is, of course, to run away. I mean tactically retreat from the Brandenburg and reposition to a more advantageous position, using the protection of the island to fire several salvos before scurrying off into the distance.
So far, this is
Not having the
gold.
gumption to get into the fight, he's left out of the battle, desperately looking for cheap kills and one-sided fights. I feel so humiliated being a part of this. He better not bring shame down on our family name. I must confess I had forgotten why we no longer invite him round to our garden parties. It's all coming back to me now. Martha, do you recall when as a boy he got stuck out at sea in that inflatable boat? Maybe I shouldn't have rescued him. He could have ended up in France with the rest of the white flag wavers. Yes, Martha, you are correct. His ability to use tools and maintain our Bentley is convenient. But really, is it worth it, wasting my talents to talk about him hiding behind islands?
Oh, this
I wonder what
script.
great Uncle Horatio would think of this. He was a naval man, fine upstanding fellow, talked fondly of the cabin boys and deck hands. We never did find out how he got scurvy of the genitals. So here we are 3.5 minutes in, and nothing 8,000 damage and a dream. Although his team has sunk a single ship, and it would appear that Hive is in fact heading towards a capture point. As the American battleship, the North Carolina, is spotted, will he turn tail and run again, or actually put that fantasy naval power to good use? Only time will tell. Boldly, Hive steers the course, unflinching in his resolve, the intensity of the battle increasing, acutely aware of how fast the 16-inch guns could send him back to port. If he wasn't hiding outside of spotting range, that is. The American Rochester approaches, 7.4 kilometers off his bow. He remains behind cover, but with the North Carolina in firing range, Hive's buttocks clench. Hive is spotted, most likely by an enemy destroyer. Of course, in an act of cowardice, he deploys his smokescreen, continuing to look for that easy kill. The French La Terrible is spotted. Hive takes his shot from the safety of his smoke and secures his first kill of the game,
Well, it's a good kill,
turning
actually.
his attention rapidly to the immense threat that has been looming over him for the past several minutes. The North Carolina, using zoning torpedoes to keep the Rochester at bay. Hive can now use his firepower to its full extent from a position of near impunity. With those lofty British armor-piercing shells, it takes some time for the power of the Plymouth to be realized. This is
Plymouth's a
when the
good
North
ship.
Carolina realizes the danger lurking in the smoke. Some futile torpedoes sail by with little consequence, as Hive reaffirms his intention to sink the North Carolina. But even the lofty British shells are no match for the island. In a moment of sheer ineptitude, the North Carolina presses on, making himself a perfect target. Volley after volley, Hive focuses the North Carolina.
I will say Hive's playing really well.
Alpha damage may not be all that impressive, but the sheer volume of fire quickly ends the game for one of the two behemoths on the enemy team. With one battleship down, the confidence within our captain grows as most other cruisers offer little in the way of resistance to the mighty Plymouth. Once again surveying the battlefield, Hive looks for his next victim. He notices the Rochester alone on his flank, while the red team, predominantly shooting from cover on the opposite side of the map, would pose little resistance. It clicks. A swift,
Hive's on his way to a good game.
The tip of the spear, you might say. Hive could end the Rochester, allowing his team to rotate around the flank.
Come on, Hive.
Taking some pot shots. Hoping to force the München into cover, Hive presses on, emboldened by his recent success. He uses his torpedo aiming to alert himself to any movement by the Rochester. But the Rochester has other targets to contend with. A fallen flank, he seems unaware of Hive's intentions. Almost flat broadside, Hive unleashes his front turrets, turning into counter any return fire. The Rochester is caught with his pants down. Hive continues to unleash two more volleys unanswered, seemingly unlucky not to have found the Citadel more than once. The high explosive return fire does little to Plymouth, and his fate is all but sealed. Kill number 3 secured.
As comedic as it is, you know, with
the enemy
Barney, but
take
a good
advantage
game
of a distracted Hive, causing some significant damage to his ship.
Oh, come on, Hive.
Once again, Hive utilizes his smokescreen, more so to evade enemy fire than to cause damage to the opposition.
I just don't expect
scoring some damage
what
to
he's
the
going to say
Scani with some quick action. Hive takes stock of the battlefield once more to plan his next attack. The enemy Brandenburg, the ship that caused Hive to run at the start of the match, is still afloat. Not only that, still very healthy. With the Scores firing blind into the smoke, Hive turns his attention to the Brandenburg, reversing to get full use of the Plymouth's firepower.
Shores again, lucky mind.
Chapping away at its health pool, the Brandenburg takes several torpedoes. Is this a perfect chance to finish him off and secure the 5th kill of the team and the 4th of Hive himself? The Brandenburg disappears into the smoke,
I'd have a fantastic game,
evading death for now. With the enemy Shores and München still using the islands for cover, there are no easy targets. Will Hive remain in the relative safety of the smoke, or put his big boy pants on and make a move to secure
big boy
victory?
pants!
With the Brandenburg down at the south of the map, the firepower of the Plymouth easily able to outgun both the Shores and the München, Hive makes a push for glory.
If you see this,
it turns out this is not as dull as I was expecting. Granted, it started off as slow as our canal boat, but much like the Austin Martin, it picks up quite nicely.
the script you've wrote is really good, Hive. It's really
Stopping
good.
his push briefly to push back the München, Hive lands several salvos, forcing a retreat. This should not only take the München out of the match temporarily, but reduce the number of gun shooting back when pushing for the Scores and Scani. Hive also secures a high caliber, showing he has dealt a total of 30% of the entire enemy team's total health, less than 10 minutes into the match.
Informative,
Looking
funny.
to lob shells over the island, Hive focuses the Scores. In a tactic known and kiting or hippering to some, the Scores will attempt to evade incoming fire by maneuvering as much as possible, a common tactic deployed by deplorables who have no skill at this game. Okay, I may have added that bit myself, but it's entirely frustrating to watch. It's like a Monty Python sketch if it was written by the Dutch. Entirely safe, boring, and as funny as my last prostrate exam. Watching a single ship run away fruitlessly, shooting back with little or no effect, instead of going unspotted and trying to find an advantageous position.
I gotta show us some of my friends. Hive, this is actually really funny.
For some unknown reason, despite Hive being spotted
What's the Skane doing?
The Skane is sitting there, broadside on. Looks like I'm not the only paid actor in this video, as Hive picks up his 4th kill
Ooh, got
and
a
a
load of them.
Confederate medal, meaning he has damaged 6 or more enemy ships, and the damage dealt to each ship must amount to at least 20% of her base HP. Fairly impressive, I must say.
Come on, Hive.
Now, time to get back to Forrest Gimp over here, like the character played by Tom Hanks, only with a gammy leg so straight lines evade them, but the running ensues. But the fun and games must come to an end, as the München Hive pushed back earlier,
Forrest
is going
Gimp.
to find his way back into the fight. Being the absolute weight, do I really need to read this out?
Forrest Limp.
Fine.
Like
The
it.
absolute Chad Hive is, he adjusts his course to minimize the effectiveness of the München's guns, and uses his throttle to evade
I will say
some
you are playing like a
incoming
Chad
shots.
Hive, I'll give you that.
While Florence Griffith Joyner over here is continuing to run like another gold medal is on the line, finally they accept that old age and stubbornness will rule the day. Hive picks up his 5th kill and gets a Kraken medal. How does that make sense? An octopus has 8 arms, not 5. Shouldn't it be called starfish? Kids these days and their non-science. Maybe there are starfish out there identifying as krakens, who knows? But anyway, back to the paid actors. Here is the München broadside, like he didn't know what was coming.
Oh, dude, some of these people.
And what has no come as no surprise, Hive gets another kill, sending the 6th member of the red team to Davy Jones'
Very
locker.
nice.
Now I guess we have to wait out the match timer, as Forrest Gimp's little brother is the opposite side of the map, playing ping-pong by themselves, and considering they took that cap 4 minutes ago, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to suggest they may have gone off after getting distracted by anime tiddies to play another solo game. Thankfully, the blue team wins on points.
Oh,
I can go
Hive,
back
that
to
was a
playing
good game.
billiards with some true gentlemen, talking about the finer things in life like Cuban cigars, prestigious motor cars of the 1920s, and cottaging.
What the fuck?
Well, folks, I do hope you enjoyed that video. I genuinely am feeling sick, so I am happy to have my stuff.
I will say, Hive, that was really good. The scripting was funny. You know, the voice of Uncle Barney was really good as well. I don't think there's any way you could have made that better. If you're going to try and redo this and get something similar out, it's going to be pretty hard to top. But you've given me some ideas as well, so I'll have to chat to you about it, see if you wouldn't mind endorsing Uncle Barney to third-party people like myself, maybe, because that was fantastic. But yeah, so this is a reaction to Hive's video. It's really good. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. Give Hive a sub. It's really, really well done, you know. And saying that he's ill and he still managed to put out good quality content like this, it's really well done. You know, and this goes to show, like, you know, why somebody like Hive, you know, is a CCR. You know, good, consistent content. You know, it was a good match. It was informative, and it was funny. You know, it's a video that you could watch again. You know, because it's genuinely funny. You know, and hopefully, you know, he'll manage to get, you know, and more videos like this. But this is so good. I don't know how you're gonna top it, Hive. But yeah, I'd love to see more. I guess I want to see some more Uncle Barney. You know. Oh, but yeah, fantastic. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I know it's a bit different from my usual content, but quick reaction to Hive's video, and yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, check HiveHound out. And if you did enjoy me reacting to this, you know, if you want to see content more like this, drop a like, comment. You know, subscriptions are always helpful, and we'll be back to our regular scheduled programming very soon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to check Mr. Hive out. Thank you, guys. Take care.